Brad Stevens has made it known that he's patiently waiting to fill that final roster spot. But with an ex-Celtic and Mike Muscala getting waived late last night, could a possible reunion be likely in Boston? We'll be diving in, looking at that. Plus, we'll be looking at Joe Mazzulla explaining the Celtics offense as it had a different style of approach in last night's victory. And we'll also be looking at an update on Jrue Holiday with the Boston Celtics and the Olympic team. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. But before we dive in on all of that great news, 78% of you guys who watch our videos are not subscribed. I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that big old red subscribe button and joined the Celtics Digest family. Without further ado though, let's dive into these topics as we have a jam-packed video. Make sure to grab a snack as it is going to be an exciting one. The first topic that we're going to be diving in today is exploring an update on Jrue Holiday. Now, it's a little bit of a minor update here, guys, but it is cool to see and a little bit of a hype up. So as we can see, we saw a tweet from the Dunk Central come out today relating to Shams Charania, keying some star players who are considered locks for Team USA, barring any injuries. Now, obviously, this roster is going to have 12 guys, but as we can see, 2 Celtics are named here. We want to look at the list. We can see Jrue Holiday and Jayson Tatum are part of this top 6 list who are expected to be locks for the Team USA. And this is massive for Jrue Holiday and the Boston Celtics because having Jrue Holiday being a part of this Olympic roster and playing alongside Jayson Tatum already gives him bonus points and just gives him extra life here in Boston. And it also shows that the Celtics will most likely want to extend Jrue Holiday and keep him wrapped up long term for as long as they can possible. If we want to dive in on this tweet from Keith Smith, who does a great job covering the Boston Celtics. If you guys don't follow Keith, make sure to drop him a follow. But he says that he's guessing that Jrue Holiday will likely be a part of Team USA for the Olympics, makes it more likely he gets an extension done with the Celtics. Neither side is going to want Holiday's next deal still out there longer than it has to be, and I totally agree with that. Holiday has been excelling for the Boston Celtics, and in last night's game, we saw him do that exponentially, hitting efficient shots for this squad. Yes, he may be the 4th or 5th option for the offensive side, but on that defensive side, he is absolute clamps. And having him sign that extension will do wonders for this squad. Because if he signs that extension, it will free up a little bit more money for some of our other guys that need extensions in the meantime, with Jayson Tatum and Derrick White as well. So hopefully, this will be great news if Jrue Holiday makes the Olympic team and can ensure his longevity stay in Boston. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Jrue Holiday. What are your guys' personal thoughts and opinions? Because I really love him. The next topic that we're going to be diving in today is Joe Mazzulla explaining the offense. And Joe Mazzulla kind of gave some new waves and new showings of how this offense can roll in last night's victory versus the Philadelphia 76ers. We kind of dived in it on the live stream. And if you guys missed that, we're going to be pumping out these post-game live streams again. We're going to get these post-game reactions where we can have me react to the games and you guys give me your thoughts and opinions. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to stay tuned into those because the next one will be on Friday night when the Celtics take on the Dallas Mavericks. But after this postgame, we saw that the Celtics, after this game, reluctantly only shot 22 threes compared to their normal average of a lot of them, compared to the 76ers 42 threes. The Sixers outshot the Celtics by 3, but the Celtics still found a way to win, and Joe Mazzulla was very excited about that. We want to dive in some tweets from Noah Dalzell here, who does an excellent job covering the Boston Celtics. Joe Mazzulla broke down the Celtics' offensive philosophy, saying, "I don't love threes, I love great shots. This team has really grown into taking what the defense gives you every single night." And like last night, they weren't able to take a lot of threes. The 76ers were making sure that they guarded that 3 and that the Celtics could not make a lot of shots off of that. Therefore, with the 76ers having no Joel Embiid, it was easier for the Boston Celtics to attack the paint and score that way, outscoring the 76ers, I believe, 60-42 with points in the paint, which drastically changed the game and allowed for Jaylen Brown to take a little bit of a transition game and hype himself up and get him really good. We want to dive in more talking about this. We can see that Joe Mazzulla, on beating Philadelphia without shooting a ton of three-pointers, had a little bit more to say, saying we never really say we have to shoot a ton of threes. That's never been stated. We always take what the defense gives us, and we are one of the best teams at doing that. And he is definitely right in that regard. In my personal opinion, I really like what he's done with this Celtics squad. I know a lot of people have hated on Joe Mazzulla in the past, but I'm here to be a Joe Mazzulla stan. He's done tremendous job working with this team. Last year, he was thrown into that front office, didn't really know what he was going to have to do, but this year, having that full season to work on this squad, he's truly shown us that this Celtics squad can win in every single way. And the broadcast was talking about how the Celtics take a lot of threes, how they make a lot of threes. They didn't know if they were able to win the game, but the Celtics got it done tremendously. Want to keep diving in, looking at more Joe Mazzulla quotes. He said he enjoyed tonight, saying that this game was probably one of our best games of the year from the standpoint of we were able to win in a different way. This game showed a template of how teams are going to guard us, and it gives us another thing to practice. And one thing I want to preface on this quote is keeping Jaylen Brown. I know there was some rumors about Jaylen Brown possibly being the guy to be out next, but we need to keep Jaylen Brown for these exact reasons. Guys like Kristaps Porzingis have elevated his game and have elevated the Celtics offense as well with his versatility. But if a guy like Jayson Tatum isn't able to hit his threes or be a predominant three-point shooter, or they are guarding the threes at a lot of great levels, we need to have a guy like Jaylen Brown who can dominate in the transition game, score with us, score at the rack, be able to dominate in that, able to attack at the mid-range and guard these teams' best scorers. Jaylen Brown last night had 18 points in the first half, 12 of them in the second quarter, which he dominated as he was the main guy in control for that quarter. And he also was fantastic finishing the game with 31 points. These are reasons why we have to have this little bit of versatility with this squad, and I love to see it as a Celtics fan. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below of how the Celtics played a different style of basketball, and how did you guys think it worked for us last night. But lastly, let's dive into the topic that everybody's been waiting for, and that is a potential final roster spot. And like we've mentioned in the past and in the introduction, Brad Stevens wants to be very patient with filling this last roster spot. There are a lot of names that have been thrown around. Celtics players have been wanting possibly to bring Isaiah Thomas or Blake Griffin back. We've also had some rumors of maybe Danilo Gallinari before he signed with the Bucks, or some buyout guys that were rumored. And now we're on the next name, which is a past Celtic from last year who the Celtics got at the trade deadline, and that is Mike Muscala. ESPN sources from Adrian Wojnarowski last night claimed that Detroit Pistons' Mike Muscala is finalizing a contract buyout, clearing his way for him to be eligible for the playoffs with the next team. Muscala has interest in a few contenders. Now, I'm not going to say that the Celtics are a team that's going to immediately pounce on a guy like Muscala, but he could add some great depth to this front court that the Celtics have, and since he's already been ingrained with this squad and already kind of knows the system a little bit from last season, it could be a nice pickup to bring him back again. Obviously, I think the Celtics don't really need an offensive big that brings his style of gameplay, because we have Kristaps Porzingis, but I still think having that depth could help out the Boston Celtics as well. We want to look at his stats this season, averaging 3.8 points, 2.8 total rebounds, and 0.9 assists on 36% shooting from the field and 32% shooting from three, with 70% from the free throw. Obviously, playing in Washington and then playing in Detroit, didn't really get to see that much of light, didn't really get to see that many minutes. So therefore, it is understanding why his numbers are so low. But on a playoff contending team or a team as a backup or third center, he could do wonders stretching the floor and being a great spacer and shooter. Honestly, though, I think there are some other names that are possibly out there that the Celtics could use that 15th roster spot that would help us out a little bit better. Obviously, we have a guy named Keita working through the G League, who we've hyped up a little bit on this channel, and a lot of Celtics fans are very excited about. He could get that final roster spot as he's been developing in the G League the last couple of games, or possibly even two guys that I personally like are guys in Ish Smith, who could be a nice veteran point guard, won a championship with the Nuggets last year, could bring that veteran and championship experience to the Celtics squad as a locker room guy as well, or even a guy in Harry Giles, who's a great teammate of Jayson Tatum from Duke, a very good friend, and could bring some defensive help at the center and power forward position as well. Ultimately, though, we'll have to wait and see what Brad Stevens wants to make a decision on. I don't mind Mike Muscala, but I do think there are better options. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I know Rob has titled in basically every one of these videos his top 5. Maybe check that out. Give me your top 5 as well, what you think. Cedi Osman might be a nice guy if he gets bought out, but like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.